Ben and Candace, let me first start off by saying I am so happy the two of you guys are talking, as well as agreeing to do a sit down. Obviously, the detail is the challenge, where we're going to figure out. Let me give you a couple things I want you to be thinking about. One, Ben, let me address your issue about what I said yesterday with the Daily Israeli Wire. I even said the Daily Jewish Wire. If you have
Middle MAGA.
Let me give you the trail of the most recent tweets. It's been a firestorm. All of this coming on X. Let me show you what's happening. It looks like it's going to happen. Candace Owens was replying. Let me go with Ben first. Ben says, Candace, I can see why you'd want to hide behind the moderator. So they had already, we're jumping in the middle of this. They had already started talking and negotiating basically out in the open, which is just wonderful for everybody to see. You know what? X should start a popcorn subscription. Just pop out when something like this is happening. Have a bag of popcorn pop out of your phone and just snack down while you're waiting for the next post. It's just captivating. This doesn't happen anywhere else. Candace, I can see why you'd want to hide behind the moderator, particularly one who said we should rename our company to the Daily Jewish Wire just yesterday. They're referring to Patrick Bet David, who I will play his response in a second. Ben says no. This is getting good, man. He's no. Ben probably wanted to be like, bitch, no. He probably wanted to do a little bit more. I know you had that in your head. He said, he said 101 Monday at 5 p.m. That's very specific. We can sit down and have a healthy debate like adults, and we'll live stream it on X and YouTube. Take it or leave it. As to the true reason you didn't respond to my offer to sit down with you and discuss these issues publicly or privately back in February, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. That's a whole, I'm not going to get sidetracked on that. But they were going back and forth. Man, this is getting good. So wait, I'm gonna make you hang in there for Candace's reply to that. Let's see how Patrick Bet David got in the middle of this. Patrick Bet David's like, okay, my name got brought up. I can grift too.
Ben and Candace, let me first start off by saying I am so happy the two of you guys are talking, as well as agreeing to do a sit down. Obviously, the detail is the challenge, where we're going to figure out. Let me give you a couple things I want you to be thinking about. One, Ben, let me address your issue about what I said yesterday with the Daily Israeli Wire. I even said the Daily Jewish Wire. If you haven't watched the entire context of what I said, I'm going to put the link below. You can go watch the entire thing on what I said from the beginning to the end. I highly recommend you watch it. Secondly, why I think you have to know where my perspective is slightly different is I understand where you're coming from, because I lived in Iran as a kid from the day I was born till 10 years old, where we were bombed 167 times in one day. 500,000 people died, and I was a Christian kid living in a nation where 98% were Muslim. We were afraid to talk about what we were all about. So I feel the pain of people living in Israel, and I fully feel the pain of some of the folks who are Christian folks maybe living in Palestine that don't agree with what's going on with Hamas. I understand both sides, and that's why I understand what Candace is saying, and I also understand why you have the position that you have. Having said that, there's a couple things I want you to be thinking about. Number one, you are Jewish. I think you're from Burbank, California, if I'm not mistaken, and you got 4 kids. I'm Middle Eastern, Armenian, Assyrian, born in Iran. I went to Glendale, California. And then we have Candace, who I believe is from White Plains, New York, with 3 kids. We're all family folks, right? When we come down and sit down and have the conversation together, we're in America today. So this is my proposal to you. If you're America first, we, Valuetainment, have agreed that if you want to do the sit down with us, a fair and balanced sit down, the moderating of the two of you, we will give $250,000 to Laken Riley's family because of what's happening today with illegal immigration. It's the number one issue in America, and I think it matters to the both of you. So no matter where you live, today we're raising our kids in America. So I want to make sure we're America first. And last but not least, while we're talking about this, I'm going to be around for a very long time in this space. We're going to be hosting many, many different types of conversations like this. Whether you're left, center, or right, people come here, they feel safe with us, which means we're going to do a very fair interview with the two of you. And the details is on you to say yes or no. If not, totally understand. If you're open to it, I think I live 25 minutes away from you. Let's make this happen and unite specifically to the biggest voices in the conservative space. Take care, guys.
Patrick Bet-David is just so good. And that's a good segue from me talking about Tim Pool. There's more integrity here on the Israel topic. He talked about we're family. That was a great way of him just saying we're grown-ass men and women. I called you, yes. I called it the Daily Israeli Wire or Jewish Wire. I'm fair. Everybody knows Patrick Bet-David has the reputation of being fair. Tim Pool has the reputation of being fair, not on Israel though. It's not authentic. So Patrick Bet-David has credibility there to me. He also brought up America First. It's funny. Patrick Bet-David has no problem saying the words America First. Jeremy Boring on the X space couldn't say America First. Why? Well, he had to qualify it because he felt like it was branded by Nick. Patrick Bet-David doesn't have that problem. Why is that? So that's just a kind of a grift type of thing where he's kind of advertising, but that's what you have to. And his name got brought up. So I have no problem with it. With him actually advertising basically what's going on. So let's get back to the reply. That's what Ben Shapiro was kind of looping in. I'm not going to go on the show with Patrick Bet-David because he said this or that. Candace Owens said, I'm not hiding behind a moderator. Laugh out loud. I'm just choosing not to bring eyes to the Daily Wire. Part of Ben Shapiro's initial offer was we're going to do it in the Daily Wire studios. What? They just fired her. I don't know if it was a fire or contract let out, but Jeremy Boring was in the X space, and I believe the word fire came out of his mouth. Like he said, I'm not going to talk about why she was fired. And he never corrected the word fire in that X space. Doesn't mean that it wasn't a contract expiring, but it is important to note. You are rather typically removing Patrick Bet-David's words from their proper context to make it seem as though he baselessly attacked you. Rather, he offered free advice. The Daily Wire should not take heat if they were open, would not take heat if they were open about their priorities. I don't really think Ben took it out of context. I didn't watch the whole podcast, but I actually have a clip from it. But I think he said it. He said it was Israel first or Jewish first. And yeah, I have the exact same take, but I don't care about Daily Wire's integrity. So that's why I haven't said that. I care about Tim Pool's integrity. But I agree. If the Daily Wire should just be honest, in the X space, Jeremy Boring did not acknowledge that the Daily Wire was Israel first, Israel focused. They should just be honest about it. Candace goes on to say, but I'll choose to be understanding regarding your exhaustive sensitivities to everyone, everywhere. We're getting into like a little bit of pettiness. It's kind of like a little bit of, it's not a low blow, but it's just a couple punches on there. She said, would you prefer Charlie Kirk or Tim Cass? So now Tim's brought into it. And, I'm a big Tim supporter, but that would be a terrible decision. Tim's not a moderator. Tim's a debater. I'm not, we don't want Tim. Lex Friedman, I think Lex Friedman would be fine. Obviously, he's more on Ben Shapiro's side, but I think Lex is fair about, and he is a moderator. He'll shut the hell up. And in the Destiny Ben Shapiro debate, Lex might have said like 5 words the whole debate. And he did the other debate with Palestine, Israel. Lex is a good moderator, and it's not a diss to Tim. Tim's just too much into the topic. We don't want Tim talking. This is about Ben and Candace. So Tim is out. You can't do Tim. Charlie Kirk, too. He would probably be a decent moderator, but I don't know why you would need a Charlie Kirk. He would be better, and he's fair because he likes both Ben and Candace. But but Ben obviously wouldn't want to prop up TPUSA. I don't think they're cool like that. But I could be wrong, but I don't see that happening. So it's a battle of what platform are you doing it on now at this point. I will also throw Joe Rogan as an option. Now, you can't do Joe because Joe has probably been more on the pro-Palestine side. But Lex Friedman would be good. I think Lex Friedman would be the best out of all these names so far. Truly pick a moderator or agree to do this live one-on-one via a channel that the Daily Wire cannot cash in on. But I am fully in. Every one of these tweets is like a million views. We're going to go on. It gets well, yeah, it gets better. It gets better. Ben drops out, then Jeremy Boring comes in. It's Sabbath, but I think Ben was clear one-on-one because in a different tweet, I'm not going to read every single one. Candace was like, I don't know where Ben's at. He's not replying anymore. So Jeremy Boring's like, it's Sabbath. He's Jewish. But I think Ben was clear one-on-one in person, Nashville, Monday, 5 p.m., live streamed on X and YouTube. I'll add, there will be no ads on the video and no charge to watch it. No one cashes in. Well, she doesn't want it on the Daily Wire platform, I guess is the point. But yeah, I guess he's right. I mean, they can take it and then put it on the platform. I don't know. I just thought it can't be in person at their studios. That's just too awkward. You debated Destiny on his show without a moderator less than a month ago and have debated plenty of people without a moderator on your own show. Fair. You asked for a debate. If you want it, come have it. Wow. We're going, boy. We're going. Rumble's trying to get in on the grift. Y'all can do it on middle bagger. I'll stay out. I might be laughing. See, I'll mute. I see I've learned. If I'm laughing too much, I got the mute button right there. So that's what you would have to worry about me. That's what, when Candace Owens asked for the definition of anti-Semitism and Ben Shapiro says some bull about hating Jewish people or whatever, some emotional bull, a definition that just keeps morphing into whatever the hell you want it to be, and I start laughing, I will mute. That's my pledge to you both. And I got the best platform for you both. There's no money coming on this platform, and I'll stay the hell out the way. But no, Rumble's like, let's just do it on Rumble, of course. Everybody wants in on this action, man. So then it must be nice because Candace Owens had to remind everybody, I'm in London, right? I can't get to Nashville or wherever they are in Tennessee. I'm in London, right? I'm just going to be paraphrasing. And I cannot appear in person. You've known for months she's talking to Jeremy Boring. You've known for months I was going to be in London this week. That sounds a little presumptive. But Jeremy Boring's probably not keeping up with your schedule like that. But we're sparring. This is like the spar. Daily Wire employees were initially slated to be here with me, so that's why she's saying you would know. So maybe he would know. I don't think Jeremy Boring actually remembered where she was, but I could be wrong. Daily Wire employees were initially slated to be here with me, so publicly pretending you guys are not aware of this seems odd. It's off topic, but she wanted to get some body blows in. I can certainly swing this virtually on Monday. Nah, I don't want to see them virtual. One-on-one, if you guys really just cannot wait for me to get back, but I'm refusing to allow this to happen on any Daily Wire platform. That's a fair term. This request seems perfectly reasonable and understandable to everyone but the Daily Wire. So right now, this is like your credibility is on the line. So now we know it's probably going to happen because whoever pulls out or whatever, it's going to look really bad. Why is that? Wow. So then I think there's another quote tweet. So Candace is getting a lot of support online, which is interesting. And maybe it's just the people I follow that they come up first in the replies. So I don't know for sure. Jeremy Boring replies, I don't know your international travel schedule, Candace. He's like, come on, Candace. I'm not keeping track of your damn schedule. Stop playing games with me. I know when you've wanted to talk to someone in the past, you've flown across the world to make it happen. So now she's saying you're chicken. Now he's kind of implying that you're chickening out. You asked for a debate. Ben agreed to a debate. That is fair. And I'll be honest with you. It's fair for Candace Owens to say, I don't want to do it at Daily Wire. But I would still do it at Daily Wire. The only requirement that I would need is I need my own copy. That's the only requirement that I would need. Obviously, I wouldn't want to do it at Daily Wire, but I would rather do it at Daily Wire than not have the debate. And why do we even call these things the debate? We're going to talk. What do you mean? Why do we need to debate? I know we have some things we disagree on. Cenk Uygur went on with Tim Pool and on the culture war. It was a great, you could cut the tension with a knife, but it was a great episode. It wasn't a debate. They had a discussion. I know this gets views, but they don't need views for this at this level. They don't need to call it a debate to get more views. You could just call it a sit down. They're going to get the same amount of views. For smaller channels like me, I got to say, well, I'm going to debate Carlos on Thursday. And it's just, he's coming on my show. We're just going to talk. It's just, the stupid propaganda. You don't want it on the Daily Wire channel? Fine. We can live stream it to your channels. Fair. This is from Jeremy Boring. You don't want to shoot it at Daily Wire Studios? Fine. We'll rent a studio in Nashville. We're rich. You don't want a Daily Wire crew? Fine. We'll hire a local crew. You don't want Daily Wire to pay for it? Fine. You're rich. You can pay for it yourself. You don't want to do it on Monday? Fine. Let us know how long you need to prepare. That was a sneak diss, man. There's so many sneak disses, man. This is good stuff. We will not agree to a moderator, no third party to put their finger on the scale. Fair. We will not agree to a virtual event or edited video live in person one-on-one. Fair. The rest of this is just noise. So at that point, this is going to happen, I think. Now, the probability of this happening is good. And then now you see what we have is Con Inc. This is a big thing because you've got Con Inksters that follow, and then you've got like groypers, and not just all groypers, but that side, the Christian authoritarian, Christian nationalists, groypers, Christ is King, that side versus the Con Inc. side. And so Billboard Chris, who does good work, is Con Inc. So he's like, that's how it's done. Everybody's picking their sides. And let's take a look here. So that's basically all I wanted to do to break down to show you where we're at with it. That looks like terms have been pretty much, again, ironed out.